All right, hello, what's happening, and good afternoon. The Modern Eater Show continues. Myself, Greg Hollenbach, Jay Parker behind the glass, the ones and twos. There's no glass, Jay.
No, there's no glass, and you can't see me right now.
I know. It's Tuesday, April 28th, and boy, do we have a great show lined up for you. You're not going to want to go anywhere. Between now and 4 p.m., you're all ours. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to get inspired, you're going to have the hell scared out of you. It's rebooting businesses in America, and we're going to take a look into a few things today. Joining us momentarily is Justin Brunson, the butcher from River Bear American Meats. We're going to talk to Justin about all kinds of stuff that's out there right now, but primarily what does food production look like on the meat side? And we're seeing a lot of interesting things coming out of the Nationals, and even up north in Greeley with the JBS plant. If you're not paying attention, boy, you need to right now. Brian Freeman's going to join us from What Chefs Want, along with Brian Cox from Black Bear Orchards. Now, originally we were getting a hold of Brian Cox from Black Bear Orchards to talk about the peach freeze over. I don't know if you've heard of any of that, but a big problem. Peaches from Palisade. Taking a big hit right now because of a deep freeze. And when we got a hold of Brian Cox, we started to have a conversation with him. Anyways, he's recovering from coronavirus right now, and that's an interesting thing in rural Colorado, and Brian's very open about it. So we'll talk to Brian Cox as well. 3:15, Rebecca Berry from Hot Schedules, powered by Fourth. She's going to be at Bistro Colorado with Chef Travis Smith, who's reopened for takeout and delivery. And what Rebecca has to say, she's kind of dabbling in all kinds of community stuff, Jay. But Rebecca Berry will join us.
She's a mover and a shaker, man.
Well, speaking of movers and shakers, Larry Herz from OCN Eats, he'll join us. We've got some bloopers we're going to go over, a little bit of laughing then, and then, of course, at 3:45, Sara Metz from Code 4 Counseling will join us to kick off the show. In the meantime and in between time, as we have our audience joining us on this glorious Tuesday, springtime in the Rockies, we've got a gift card giveaway for you. It's a $50 gift card. Hey, Brunson, check out this gift card. $50 to Lever's Locavore.
Nice.
I know. Justin Brunson joins us right now, River Bear American Meats, and he has a deli counter and a butcher counter at Lever's Locavore, so you could use this gift card to buy whatever you want from Lever's Locavore. It's $50, and all you need to do is go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, Brunson, and then just leave a comment on this video today and say hello to us, and we'll pick somebody randomly in 24 hours and contact you for sure. So looking forward to that. Also, COVID is coming up. What is COVID? COVID is a fundraiser that we're going to do Friday, May 8th. Right here from Studio Kitchen, Colorado, and that fundraiser is going to benefit the Angel Relief Fund. The Colorado Restaurant Foundation has the Angel Relief Fund, and Chef Brother Luck is going to co-host that with me here. Hazel Miller will be in studio, and Rob Drabkin is going to play a set from his home along with chefs cooking for us, so you'll want to tune into that. Let's get right to work. Justin Brunson right now. Welcome to the Modern Eater Show. Great to have you back, Justin.
Awesome. Thanks, fellas. Thanks for having us today.
Listen, I needed to talk to you. First of all, Sunday, I shopped at Lever's Locavore, right? And this was basically my neighborhood. Someone's at the door, Jay. My neighborhood grocery store was out of a lot of product, and in particular, hamburger. I said, you know what? I'm going to go over to Lever's. I'm going to see what Brunson's got. I'll tell you what, my man, I am so happy, so proud, and so thrilled to say, not only do I know you take great care in sourcing your animals for River Bear, but you were fully stocked, man. What's your secret?
Well, I think our big deal is we have small family farm partners here. We don't really deal with the big guys. So when all this chaos happened, we already had our animals in slate to be harvested to fill our shelves at Lever's. I don't work with the large guys. JBS and those type of guys. We are anti that. I try to work with small local family farms and then small processors locally. not only because of the animals get treated better, but also the employees get treated better too. And I think that's a huge part of just having a responsible food system around you as well.
Gosh, let's dig in. So the experience at Lever's Locavore was just that, and people are really, really trying to find an experience again. I don't know about you, Justin. I go to a grocery store right now. I'm terrified. Things are just out of the ordinary. I feel out of place. There's a lot of products that I love that are gone. I went to Lever's. I'll tell you what, I probably stayed an extra 15 to 20 minutes just because I took my time. I wasn't anxious to run out of there. They have that pop-up support local. It just had that real local sourced vibe going on in there. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, I definitely feel that the Lever family and their team of managers has done a really good job trying to create a different shopping experience, customer service forward, having good ingredients, making sure, that was our biggest thing when we were going through opening there is we wanted to bring the hospitality back in the grocery store business because you go into those big box stores and it is pretty frightening right now.
Oops, we've got somebody join. Hey, Brian, let us hit you back here, man. You're a little early. We got about another half an hour, and we'll catch you there. Sorry, Brian Cox. That's Brian Cox from Black Bear.
Cool.
Apologies.
All right.
Hey, listen. Thanks, Brian. Continuing on with Justin Brunson, I'm trying to share this to a couple of groups and to my Facebook page. A lot of folks joining us today. Thanks so much. Justin Brunson here with us with the River Bear American Meats hat on. So for folks that don't know, describe River Bear American Meats.
So we wear a couple different hats here. We have a USDA meat processing facility here in Denver on 40th and Steel. That is where we make a lot of our products. Our deli meats, our sausage, our bacon, salami. We also cut steaks and whatnot there. And from there, we sell to a lot of restaurants, grocery store chains. You can find us at Tony's Market. You can find us at Marzik's. You can find us at Alfalfa's. Most of the small grocery cheese shops, more of your independent grocers are where you're going to find us. We have stayed out of the big box stores so far. Just trying to keep. We're not a huge place, so we can't make a lot of meat. So we want to really focus on trying to support small local businesses and as many local farmers as we possibly can. And then that's kind of our first hat is an actual meat processor, and then our second hat is our first butcher shop over in Lever's Locavore, which we put together quite a selection of great locally raised meats, pasture raised. We got a lot of really good stuff. You can find anything from chicken livers to foie gras to grass-fed local beef, grain-fed local beef. I also bring some stuff in from Minnesota from these guys that I think really grow some of the best beef in the country. We have all different kinds of salumis, our house-made deli meat sausages. We also have the Polidori's in there. We brought them in. So we're trying to bring in not just our own products, but other local products that we truly believe in.
So let's jump into the supply chain, and I'd like to do a little contrast and comparison, if you wouldn't mind. And this isn't to diminish anybody else, to lift you up. This is just to talk facts. What's the difference between, say, a Tyson or a JBS plant and their partnerships with suppliers?
Well, it's a lot. So those guys they really buy the lowest bottom of the buck as they can. They push the local farmer kind of into selling to them through cow-calf operations. Those guys, so I just kind of look at it this way. Those guys pay 82 cents a pound for cows. I pay $2.50 a pound. So I picked a small local family farm that I wanted to work with. I pay them what the animals are worth. They can make a living doing it. The animals get treated better. We use some great local processors here in Colorado as well. So they're locally raised, locally dispatched. They come to our plant, and then the love's put into them as well. You got to think like that JBS plant up in Greeley. I think they harvest 5,000 cows a day there. which is pretty intense if you think about it.
Very intense.
I think there's 3 shifts a day of 2,000 people working side by side there. I think. But and my plant is 10,000 square feet, and we have 8 people in it.
Just take that in. So just to be clear, and we've met a lot of these local ranchers. The rancher's conundrum is this: they could have the best practices in the world, free range, roaming animals, so on and so forth. But then it comes to a point in time where they go, okay, well, what do I do now? Do I finish these? We'll just take cattle for example. Do I finish these cattle myself, and do I fatten them up? Do I take them all the way to production, to where at that time it's to bring it to market, and they have to figure out, well, do I do this direct, or do I have somebody, a restaurant relationship that will take a portion of that cow, a quarter of it, a full cow, so on and so forth. There's also another model of, do I sell this in auction? Do I get rid of it right away so I don't have to go through that process? Do I make that quick buck? Or do I sell it direct to a feedlot to where they're going to fatten it up and they're going to – so the cost or what they're ending up selling it to really is the last remaining part of that animal's life, is where it figures out how is that meat going to be determined and disseminated at that point in time with care.
Yeah, that last 120 days has. I mean, we have this thing we say it's breed and feed. So good genetics and good feed profile makes great beef.
Mm-hmm. I like to know that that chain is controlled by the rancher all the way to a guy like you who's going to take him off their hands straight from the ranch. What we're seeing right now from Tyson and JBS, and basically this is just the feed the masses types of plants. So you're going to get those things just by osmosis, right? I mean, if you're working in that kind of quantity, it could get interesting as far as sanitation and cleanliness.
Yeah, well, 100%. I mean, those food plants are set up for people to work side by side, much like we do in a kitchen as well, to tell you the truth. I mean, I don't think there's too many kitchens that have more than a foot or two between each employee. And you got to think this is it's a food factory, a lot of these big guys. So it's a food factory. It's an assembly line. So you got one guy doing one thing, the person next to him doing one thing, the person 3 down doing one thing, and they just do that all day long.
Yeah. So we could go from a kitchen of 8 to a kitchen of 800, right?
It's kind of the same thought process, really. I mean, people are they're working in tight quarters. I think what you were upset about and what I was kind of upset about is how the people are being treated, right? I think we both saw an article about one of the guys up at JBS. He put a mask on and got shamed for putting a mask on because it was scaring the others around him. Everybody at my plant is required to wear an N95 mask. We are trying to have as much social distance as we possibly can doing our products. I mean, we have 10,000 square feet and we have 8 employees in there right now. Mm-hmm. So we are keeping our distance. We're making sure things are safe. We want to make sure that that was my biggest thing. My wife worked in a hospital. I didn't go to work for 3 weeks because I wanted to make sure that if she did bring something home, that I didn't bring it to my employees.
You just knocked your video off there, Justin.
Oh, sorry. People are calling.
That's no problem. There it is. Yeah. Someone calls, and that's what happens.
Don't call me. People.
Don't call Justin right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did a big thing. I mean, that was my big thing. I took myself out of the plant for 3 weeks, which was really hard to do during this time, but it was the responsible thing to do. And then, we were making sure to train our employees. When you guys aren't here, this is our family here. We have to protect our family. Mm-hmm. So that's been our biggest thing with everybody's just, making sure everybody's staying at home. They're not out doing stuff they shouldn't be doing on the weekends, that type of stuff. We do have a little bit of a different style of crew, though, so everybody's pretty much just chilling with their family anyway. I mean, what else are you going to do right now? Uh,
Well,
so
let's be clear, and this is really I need to emphasize this so much about local, and this is why I love what we do here at the Modern Eater Show, and we can hear your voice. There's not going to be a chance in hell you're going to get somebody from JBS on to be this transparent. And just really because they don't have great things to say. I mean, it's very apparent. Local is local, and what you do is you get to hear the stories from the folks, the manufacturers, the folks behind the products and the services, and you get to hear firsthand, and you decide from there whether you want to do business with them, right? I figure out the folks that I want to spend my money with, and especially for a lot of health reasons. Here's where we dig in. This article reads, Coronavirus breaks the food supply chain. America's food supply chain is in trouble because of coronavirus outbreaks in rural meatpacking plant communities. Why does it matter? For consumers, this means less meat at grocery stores. For many farmers, this means the prospect of financial ruin. For many animals, this means euthanasia instead of a slaughter. The big picture, plants in more than a dozen states have closed in recent weeks, spanning beef, pork, poultry, and fish. Many plants are struggling to remain open despite significant outbreaks. More than 25% of U.S. pork production is now offline because of plant closures. Tyson Food describes this as a breaking, quote, of the food supply chain, warning on Sunday that millions of animals will need to be killed without being turned into food. Between the lines, there's also an enormous human toll taking place at these plants. It's true. It's not going to be easy to get these workers 6 feet apart, says William Schaffner, a professor of infectious diseases. If you space people out, you reduce productivity. They're not going to want to lose that productivity. And why, Justin? We're seeing restaurants faced with this. We're seeing everybody else. Why the food chain, Justin? Why the provisions? Why is Trump saying we need to keep these plants open? What will happen to the food chain?
Well, so these giant plants are necessary with where our food system has gone. We have never had a food crisis here in the United States as long as I've been alive. I don't know. Is there one? Is there not one right now? I mean, I don't know.
But why would
I'm personally not feeling a food crisis right now? I know that we have plenty of food coming down the pipes. There's processors do it. The farmers are farming. The truckers are trucking, and the plants. We're pigs here in this country. I mean, there's not very many countries in this world where people eat, 10 ounces of meat a day. That's kind of been my philosophy: is eat less, but eat higher quality. People are like, "Well, your meat's expensive," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, it comes from the small family farmer that I pay 4 times what the big guy pays for because I know that's what him and his family need to live on." And it's not always about a deal or the cheapest. To me, it's about doing the right thing and supporting a small local farmer that takes care of the animals. We go to a small processor, that slaughters animals, and then they come to us and we further process them from there. So we're just trying to do the right thing. And I think, keeping our food system small like we have will always be the best option. It's not always the cheapest option because you don't get all the discounts of volume, right?
Yeah, bulk, sure. So
bulk, right? It's just as easy to feed 10,000 cows as it is to feed 20.
Yeah.
If you set up properly.
So we saw a service industry chain being broken because of restaurants shutting down. And now we're seeing these larger meat packing plants potentially shutting down that retail supply chain. Yeah. Riddle me this, Justin. I've heard reports of farms that are tilling over their fields because it's less. It costs less to just till that farm over than it would be to bring it to market. If I'm reading here that an estimated that 60 to 70,000 pigs a day will need to be euthanized. First of all, why? And is it the same scenario to where it's easier to euthanize pigs than it is to bring them to market because that chain is broken?
I mean, so the big problem is these huge processing plants. Some of these plants do 25,000 pigs a day, right? So you got 25,000 pigs a day. You're 7 days a week, and you have an outbreak of COVID, and you shut down. Where do those 25,000 pigs a day go to?
Tell me.
Well, that's
Euthanized,
just the
huh?
thing. That's just the thing. These giant corporate farms aren't going to sit there and lose money on them. I'll tell you that. They're gonna euthanize them. They're gonna do something else with them.
So
They're gonna
less
send them off to a
expensive to
wrecker.
euthanize them than to bring them to market.
Yeah, I mean that's a straight up business decision made by a giant corporation versus really a small family farm. Like I know guys that have small processing plants in the Midwest that are trying to buy those pigs from those guys and process those pigs. I mean that's just the thing. We're such a machine. We're an eating machine in this country, and we just saw a part of the machine like one of the wheels just fell off. Right, so now we're having the problem because we do consume so much food in this country. I mean, if you just think about it, I think what is it, 7 million pigs a week are slaughtered in the United States? I think that's what it is. Just
7
pigs,
million.
7 million a
Unbelievable.
week.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine what chickens, the amount of chickens.
Oh, I mean, it's just
Astronomical.
absolutely insane. And the small family farms went away. The giant farms have pretty much smushed out all the small family farms around them by doing stuff like Monsanto and all that type of stuff. It's very hard for the food system to fix itself because we've put it in this. We've done this. We've created this. We want that $1.99 hamburger. Like, this is our fault as the consumer. Like, if I don't even want to eat a hamburger that's under $10, man, because I'm like, well, where'd the meat come from? That's a personal thing. And it's, what? I also love to go, eat down on Federal. And I don't understand those guys don't use perfectly farmed animals, but I make that decision to go do
Would
that.
you make that decision right now?
I am not eating anywhere except my own home right now. And I want to go support my restaurant friends. I want to. It's just like right now, I'm at home. I'm shopping. I'm shopping. I'm getting. I'm going to Levers because they've done a really good job of cleaning the store every day, and I feel clean in there. And it feels good. So I'm going there and I'm just cooking at home and working on recipes and just spending a lot of time working on my yard and staying away from everybody, which everybody should be doing so we can get through this and get our lives back together.
Absolutely. Tell me if you agree with this statement. So if things don't get turned around fast, we're going to see a multi-generational, long-standing hog farms not get through this financially. Minnesota hog farmer Greg Boomerton told the Star Tribune. Do you agree with that?
I mean, we're definitely going to see some farmers, and I mean, a guy like that's probably growing for somebody like a Tyson, I would assume, and hopefully that Tyson's doing the right thing and reaches back out to their farmers and takes care of them in the bigger picture.
Okay, I want to see that. All right, last one here. The bottom line, America's farmers have long feared that everyday citizens were clueless about how they got their food and how it is made. Would you agree with that statement?
Sorry, will you say that one more time? You cut out a bit.
America's farmers have long feared that everyday citizens were clueless about how their food gets made.
Well, I mean, we all think that meat comes on a pink styrofoam thing with a piece of plastic over it, right?
What's the lesson to be learned here? For me, it's more important than ever to know who you're doing business with when it comes to your food and agriculture.
Yeah, know your farmer, right? If not know your farmer, know your purveyor and know that they know their farmers. I think this really comes back to just making this food system smaller and better and healthier. We're never not going to have these giant food factories across this country because we have too many people and you can't feed the people without them, to tell you the truth. Not everybody has $20 a pound to spend on a steak, and this is how we have commercialized farming and food process in this country to the point that it's you can't undo it at this point.
well, 76 people watching this. I think it's a gang that either you know or you don't know. And I'm hoping that the pendulum's swinging back to that know your farmer, know where your food comes from. It's more important than ever, I think. And it's also important to our local survival as well. Doing business with people that you know right now and that you care and love about, we need to keep that money within our community. And I think that that's a great way of doing it.
No, 100%. Like, I feel very, very, very lucky to have these relationships with the farmers that we have been working with here and in some other states to have food on our shelves, Like, there's not Colorado, there's not really a lot of there's not enough pig farms in this state for me to stock my shelves with pork. But I can get local beef and lamb all day, So I'm feel really good that I've worked with some great small family farms, and we've been working together, and they're here to support my community. I'm here to support their community, and just try to feed the people good, wholesome food.
I agree completely. Folks from the stream will see what they sound off. Sharon Clark sounds off and says Jay is her fave too. Everybody loves Jay. Sharon Clark says responsible supplying. Doug Eulin, a farmer in southern Colorado by Lamar, sunflower farmer, chimes in. Michael Brenner says, you guys look hungry. I'll bring some grub over. I don't know who you're looking at. I haven't been told I look hungry in a while. But hey, bring the what?
He texted me too, and he said, hey, I said, bring it, man.
Jason Ganal's watching. Aaron Shepard. Hi, Justin. Dr. Sara Metz is watching. Zach Johnson, the Spice Guy. I never knew how much I'd miss Justin Brunson. I guess he misses you right now. Richie Snyder's watching. Nicole Nicholson says, yes, people are clueless about where their food comes from. It really shouldn't be that way. Again, it's a preference, it's a choice. But my choice right now, more than ever, Justin, and I'm repeating myself, I know, is that I want to know where my food is coming from. So let's start there. How can consumers dig in and say, you know what, I'm kind of a rookie or a novice at this. Maybe I go somewhere where I trust them. Like, oh, by the way, Lever's Locavore. Go to our YouTube channel. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment on this video, and we're going to give you $50 to some a random person in 24 hours. How do you do that? Where do you begin? Where do you begin as Justin Brunson from River Bear American Meats to find relationships?
I mean, I right away like to shop small and local. So I go to my local butcher shop. I go to my small local grocer like a Tony's or a Marzik's or a Lever's Locavore right away. Like, I want to know.
Why did the local butcher shop go away? Why is it so hard to find?
I mean, it's not really I don't know. Being a butcher just became cool again like 10 years ago. Like, I mean, being a butcher is a lot of hard work, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and it's kind of a dying craft. And I think about 10 years ago, this butcher in New York City, Joshua Applestone, kind of brought it back and made it cool to be a butcher again. And people are just more interested in I just think where food went from like 1950 to 1970. I feel like food kind of took a dive in the country. And then from 1970 to now, it's definitely gotten bigger, like organic grocery stores, local grocery stores. I mean, for a while there, they were trying to make food easier and cheaper, and then we got away from that. We got into better food, and I think with this whole COVID thing and this little bit of food insecurity some people have felt for the first time ever in their lives, that it should really get people thinking about know their farmer, know your grocer, know your baker, like know you should know what you're putting in your body. Look at the ingredients on the back of it. Why does that bacon have 25 ingredients in it? Mm-hmm. Why?
So Jay, one sec. So you're seeing a lot of local collaborations right now, which I really love. But CSA boxes, those types of things, encourage, right? Do that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, support these local farmers right now that are pulling produce out of the ground. We don't have a ton of produce here in Colorado right now, but just think of the farmers market. If they don't have a farmers market to sell it at, what happens to that product? What happens to that farmer then?
Jay?
I was just going to touch on what...
You weren't going to say what Jonathan Greschler said on Facebook? It's a kind of a rhetorical question, but Chef, how did you get so sexy?
Hi, Greschler.
Well, now my half-intelligent thing that I don't even think was intelligent. Now I don't want to say it because we're talking about how.
No,
sexy
do it. There is no.
Oh, well, so my 2 cents, just real quick on what Justin and you were just talking about, as far as you said, where did the little butchers go? Where did the good meat go? And I think Justin hit it on the head where he said from the 50s into the 70s and it changed because people back in the day when the population was lower and everything in the whole world was smaller, it was like, so the food was better because it was being produced in a more intelligent way. As more people and the population grows and grows and grows, and so now we're trying to feed everybody. It was the whole Reagan thing, right? Where you're
Jay, you're so smart.
Where you're trying to feed all these people this way, and so
processed
and
foods.
so all these little places, mom and pops,
The pinch.
they all
They
shut
got
down
pinched.
because we're going like, oh, okay, good. Now we can, but then as more time goes by, we start to learn, well, listen, yeah, we can eat this meat and live on it, but it's garbage and we don't like it. And so the curve is just real slow of people realizing, like, now I'm eating garbage, and I want that small butcher back because the meat from the small butcher is better, and so, but it's just slow because
happy raised animals. I mean, you go through the whole game, and we've seen it. We've gone on a trip, but that just warmed my heart, Brunson. That was Jay Parker saying that. I remember meeting Jay probably 5 years back, man. He said we were talking about just organic versus conventional. That's a whole different topic. But he said my body's just lucky to get an apple in it. Right?
regardless of if
where
it was
came
organic
from, what
or
it
not.
was. It could be an apple Jolly Rancher,
But I think that Justin, what Justin's doing and what we're doing and what a lot of other people are doing is building awareness. And just like Brunson said, where he's like, listen, man, when I eat on Federal and I know that I'm not getting a good quality meat in this, he's like, I'm conscious of what I'm doing. I just like it, so I go do it, right? But if you build and I do the same exact thing to where it's like I actually mindfully shop when I shop. Yeah. When I know I'm going to some place that's garbage, I know it's garbage. I'm doing it on purpose because it's a fix for me, right? Yeah. So I think that the awareness of more people that get aware of, like, knowing the difference. If you know the difference between getting meat from Justin and getting meat from somewhere else, and when you do it from somewhere else, if you're conscious about knowing what you're doing, then I think it's better than thinking it's all the same and thinking that meat is meat. And like, if you're conscious, it's like doing drugs. You're conscious of when you do them. It's like, what you're doing is not good for you.
Haven't had that much spike out of you in a while, man. That's good. How's the coffee level? Hey, Brunson, would it be sustainable if the pendulum swung all the way back and everybody automatically decided today they wanted to buy local and know their farmer and know where their meat comes from and they'll pay more for it?
No. Just like I said, like, we need these large factory farms to feed our country. We need to. There's too many people, and we eat too much meat in this country. I mean, most countries you don't go around and everybody's got a 24-ounce ribeye sitting in front of them.
So we can't turn back the clock because of our habits.
I mean, I think there is needs for the large factory farm. I also feel like there is need for the small local farmer because there are people that need to eat on all different levels.
Yep. Okay. So this will jack you up. Is it possible socioeconomically? Is it possible to eat good food and knows where it comes from on a budget?
Yeah. No, 100%. You just got to eat more vegetables. More vegetables, more grains, more legumes, and smaller amounts of protein,
and less waste.
Yeah, and less waste. I mean, it's crazy how much we waste here, it's absolutely crazy the amount of waste we have in this country, food waste, the amount of, to think that anybody in this country is food insecure with the amount of waste we have here it's just such a sad story, but it happens every day.
Yeah, and blows me away. We'll take it just to Colorado. They say one out of 11 people in Colorado are food insecure. Don't know where their next meal is coming from. What the hell?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No,
it's sad. I've been in the restaurant business for 23 years, and
someone's calling.
I've got a note. I have a note for this, by the way.
Well, I don't know if you can prevent it.
You can. Airplane.
Someone's calling. All right, we have just a few. We have a few more minutes left with you. And first of all, thank you for your time today. What am I missing, Justin? Is there anything that you want to pick up and say, oh, okay, here's a correction, or here's something I really wanted to talk about? Is there anything that I'm missing on this subject?
No, I think we've covered a lot, to tell you the truth. I think we covered a lot.
I do, too. Okay, am I going to get your face back?
I don't know. God. Oh, there we go, Zoom. I think I got it.
There he is.
Sorry.
No, you're
You guys
fine.
know me. I'm not very good with the technology.
No, you're fine. Okay, I would be remiss to ask, not to ask you, but here it is, the rebooting of restaurants, and it's coming back up. What are you seeing for restaurants, Justin?
Oh man, these are trying times and dark days for restaurants. Go support all your favorite restaurants right now that are doing curbside pickup. Go buy a cocktail and an appetizer. Please go see your local restaurant tour right now. They need it really bad. Their employees need it really bad right now. It's going to be really the next 6 to 8 months is going to be very hard for your local restaurant. So go support them. Get pickup. Get a cocktail. Drop by some gift cards for their staff. You know, they're going to need everything they're going to need all the support from their community to get back up and going.
Yeah, you picked a cool spot to set up shop in your house. You're in your house, right?
Yeah.
You are? Are you on your phone or laptop?
I am on my phone.
All right, man. You know we're going to want to look around for a second. Show us our art on the wall. Come on, brother. Come on. Show us around a little bit. Is the missus saying don't show around? Is she right there, like to your left?
What? No, my wife's at work.
All right, show us around.
Taking care of the crazies right now.
Come on. Let's see.
Open all the drawers in the master bedroom. Anything that has a handle in the master bedroom, open it.
Such a weirdo.
Show us around, Brunson.
What? Here. I'm here. This is my bar.
Oh, that's killer. What's on the bar?
There's my kitchen. Here we go.
Nice.
My little house. My little restaurant. What's on the bar?
Yeah, where's your cat?
I don't know. They're around there. One of them's licking his butt somewhere, probably.
He's so funny. He'll kiss you on the mouth, right? But if you ask him to be like, yeah, let me look at your patio, it's like, whoa, bro.
Back off, man.
Yeah, don't cross any lines.
Too much. Yeah.
Hey, this is my home, all right?
A little bit of privacy, huh?
Yeah.
Love you, Chef.
Gosh, you're embarrassed a little bit. I've never seen you blush like that. I love you. What'd you write down for notes? You just drew, didn't you?
You know me, I'm a doodler. I like to doodle.
Did you doodle? Let me see.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just a few notes. Here we go. We got some notes about what we do. The address at Levers, because I always forget it.
Give it out. What is the address at Levers?
It's 2630 West 38th Avenue in the Highlands/Berkeley neighborhood. It's Levers Locavore, where you can find River Bear Butcher. All your needs for your local meats, folks.
Hey, man, straight up, seriously. I walked the counters at River Bear there. Today I had a delicious roast beef sandwich from your deli, full-on deli. I mean, just tell them the span of what you have in there. Seriously, it's insane.
I mean, we we have everything, man. We got prime beef, we got dry-aged beef, we got local lamb, we got pork, we got chicken, we got duck, geese. I mean, we got game sausages. I mean, we got your boneless, skinless chicken breast for everybody that loves us. And then we carry a whole line of sausages. Ours, we brought in some bovine swine from Wyoming. I mean, there's nothing there that, I mean, you can get it all.
Well, guess what's coming that you missed? Fish.
Yeah, oh yeah, starting this Friday. We're gonna blow up a little bit of a fish counter over there. We've had so many requests for it. So River Bear is getting into the fish game a little bit. So you'll be able to come get all your fish over there as well. Just come see us at River Bear Butcher in Levers Locavore.
Cool, man. Thanks for your time today.
Yeah, aloha, bro.
Butcher Justin Brunson. Love it. See you, guy.
Bye.
Bye. That conversation needed to happen, right?
That was a fun conversation with
I don't know how fun
Brunson.
it is. It's terrifying.
Well, okay, fun. I mean, take it, for how
terrifying.
it is. Yeah.
Standing by for Brian Cox and Brian Freeman. You know Brian Freeman from the Modern Eater Show. He's the co-host with the most on Saturday evenings, 6 to 8 p.m. That's when the Modern Eater Show airs, but Monday through Friday, and we're keeping it that way, 2 to 4 p.m. Here's something for you This Friday at 2 p.m., the Colorado Restaurant Foundation's executive director, Mary Mino, is coming on. She said, can I come on to make a big announcement? I said, sure, what is it? I'm not going to tell you. Can I just – so we're just going with it, 2 p.m. on Friday. Don't miss that big announcement from the Colorado Restaurant Foundation. Again, you heard that. You could spend all $50 of this at Lever's Locavore. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Modern Eater. Go to YouTube. You watch all your videos there, The Modern Eater, and then comment on this video today. We don't put much effort. Well, a little bit more now. But a lot of videos that we've done are on the Modern Eater Facebook page as we stand by for Brian Cox. Now, Brian Cox is from Black Bear Orchards in Palisade. We've visited there 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
We were getting him on the phone today to talk about the Palisade Peach Freeze-Over.
Mm-hmm. Just to do a little catch-up, hey, what's going on? It's from frozen stuff. And
Brian Cox contracted coronavirus.
Yeah.
In Palisade, Colorado.
The whole family, didn't he say the whole family?
Well, we'll figure it out when Brian comes on here. Yeah. Looking forward to that. Right now, A-Plus Beverage Solutions and Jeff Rourke, as restaurants are getting ready to get open. You don't need any strikes against you. In fact, you want to make sure that you are clean, sanitized, and ready to go. And a lot of that will have to do with how your beer tastes. Don't let that stagnant beer sit in your draft lines. If you're pouring inefficient beer, Jay, what are you doing?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Don't pour it down the drain. $10 a line. It's a gimme. It's a gimme. That's basically nothing.
It is nowadays, man. Are you kidding?
He will clean your line, one line at a time, for $10 a piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do the math, Jay. You got 10 lines. How much?
That's $100.
Easy breezy to have delicious tasting beer. It's a family-owned and operated business. Specialty tap installations. If you're hurrying up and getting ready, I hear someone ringing on our doorbell to get in. I think it's probably Brian Cox coming. How did Brian Cox sneak into the chat room?
A setting.
That is Brian
so
Cox.
I locked it. Yeah, I mean, I'm learning. As we go, I'm learning a little bit there.
That's right. Beer, wine, water, coffee, nitro. You can add a line. Make your tap dreams reality. Get a hold of Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. 720-272-3809. 720-272-3809. It's Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. All right. Do we have Mr. Cox? Yes, we do.
How's it going?
Good, buddy. Can you turn your phone sideways, see if it opens up that full camera I can get your maximize your handsomeness?
Yeah, let me grab. Perfect.
Now, last time we saw you, Mr. Cox, you were carrying a baggie of your native soil around Black Bear Orchards. It's always so much fun to see you, and we get to eat the freshest fruits off your trees, man, and see how it's done.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
It was cherry season.
Cherries, oh my!
When we saw
you pay for it when you eat that many free cherries, but it's worth it, baby.
The flavor off the
drive home, then, huh?
I mean, totally worth it.
That's great.
As we're standing by for Brian Freeman, we can just get started. First of all, if you wouldn't mind, Brian, we know you, but our audience is just getting acquainted with you. Tell the folks who you are and what you do.
So my name's Brian. We own Black Bear Orchards in Palisade. We grow peaches, sweet cherries, and wine grapes. And we've been farming. I'm a second-generation farmer. My dad farmed for 45 years and then just retired. And we've been doing it, or I've been doing it since I was a kid. And so it's pretty much the only thing I know how to do. And yeah,
people are saying, "No way! This is like Tony Hawk in L.A. right now, in a like a room somewhere. This isn't a farmer. Prove it to us. Are you at the orchard now?"
Yeah. I'm in the office right now. I wanted to have good internet connection. I could try to go walk around. Later on, just walk around the orchard a little bit, kind of show people what's going on.
People love to see that stuff. So if you're tuned in right now. You stick around because Brian Cox is going to take us for a tour. You were talking about farming and Black Bear Orchards. Before I interrupt, continue on with that and talk about the layout, the setup, what you're farming.
Yeah, so we have about 20 different farms that we operate, all in separate locations. Some of them close together. Some of them are kind of spread out. We have 26 employees we're on right now. for pruning, and we would have brought in another 24 for thinning, cherry harvest, and peach harvest. But we suffered some really bad frost damage, which has kind of really hosed us. So now we're kind of regrouping, figuring out what we've got left, and I think we're going to keep everybody on that we have here right now, and hopefully keep everybody busy. We're kind of going through some difficulties with between pruning and thinning. Typically, we send the guys home on flights for about a month, and this season is different because the border has been closed, and it's really uncertain as to if they can come back, because if there's an outbreak of COVID down in Mexico and our numbers are decreasing, I could easily see the border being shut off, and then with the unemployment numbers being as high as they are, I think the Fed's idea is kind of to try to shift as many of the unemployed people into these migrant worker positions, and which I wholeheartedly disagree with, but I can see why people would think that and have that thought. It's just, all these jobs are a lot more specialized than people give them credit for, and even a general laborer who's been doing it for 15 years is going to be, double or triple as productive as a person who just walks into it, save from a completely different profession. Mm-hmm. Not that they can't learn, and we could infuse probably 10% of the local workforce in at a time to try to employ more locals, which I'd be happy to do. But I think, if we have a massive influx, it's going to be devastating to our operations. So.
Well, let's go slow and dig in. So that's the voice of Brian Cox, Black Bear Orchard. Brian Freeman joins us right now from What Chefs Want and Growers Organic. Brian, good to see your face.
Hey, guys. Good to see you. Brian, I'm glad to see you're healthy, brother. It's good to see you.
Really appreciate that.
We're going to jump into, we mentioned it before, and it's headline, Brian Cox recovering from COVID, and we'll talk about that. I want to do the setups on this, and I think a lot of what people hear right now is, what? My Palisade peaches? I'm not going to get all of my delicious. Is that where we're at right now, guys? Brian, talk about talk about that.
We're really dedicated. We're really dedicated to our state, and we sell to fundraiser groups and a lot of people who really depend on the product for a lot of different reasons. And so we want to make sure we get as many of the peaches that we have left out to our area, to the people who've supported us over the years, and so we're really dedicated to that. And I hope it's better than people are saying. We have some blocks that are 100%, and then we have a whole lot of blocks that are zeros. And so, once we average it, we're going to go out and do estimates and try to average those numbers. Yeah. And but
hey, Brian Freeman.
I wanted to
translate. To bring that out of farmer talk into city boy talk right now, would you, Freeman?
Okay, so what Brian is saying is basically there are sections within, you're looking at an orchard, and when Brian talks about a block, what he's talking about is a section of his orchard, because his orchard might span over many, many miles and over many different properties. And so the way he's measuring that is by blocks. Now, I wanted to dig in because this is really interesting, and we spoke about a little bit. And Brian, I hate for you to repeat anything, but I thought some of the information that you said was so valuable to people who don't understand this. Most of you have heaters in your orchard. So that's either a big oil can, a 50-gallon oil drum that is cut in half, and you're lighting a fire in it, and then your fan sort of keeps that hot air down in the orchard. Or if you have a little bit of money to put in permanent, you'll run gas lines. And I know some farmers who had gas lines, and didn't make it through this. But what they did say is that their trees, everything below 7 feet was completely lost. Everything above 7 feet was potentially still salvageable. But then Greg, and so I wanted you to touch on that. But then Greg had a really, I think, brought it back to reality for most people and said, Brian, there's not even fruit on the trees. How did we already lose the crop? And a lot of people don't understand how we've already lost the crop. And I'll let you explain that.
Okay. Yeah. So starting out with the heating process is for us. Back in the day, we used to use burn propane in these metal cylindric structures, and those would heat up, and then the heat would radiate off and warm the area. You burn so much gas that if the cost of the gas is really, really important at that rate, but if we were to heat all of our farms, we would probably be burning, I would say, $130,000 worth of gas per night. So to me, it's not viable, because if you burn so many nights and then you still lose it, you're still on the hook to pay those bills for that gas. So it's just not cost effective, and we abandoned it. We were doing it on a small scale before and never really got into it. I'm opposed to the oil burning thing just because it's such a dirty, polluting mess, and I just disagree with that.
That procedure.
Generally speaking. So what we do is we use our irrigation systems, and the water in the river is usually around 38 degrees, more or less, give or take a few degrees, when it gets to us. And so we run the sprinkler systems that irrigate the orchards, and the heat, the small amount of heat that's in the water, along with the humidity, rises up from the ground and kind of permeates through the trees, and that usually buys you maybe 2 degrees. So if it's 28 without water, you'll probably have 30 degrees where you do have water. 32 is obviously freezing. That's a tolerable temperature for pretty extended period of time for fruit. When it drops down to 28, we start to get some damage, and then the longer of a time frame it lasts, the more damage occurs. And if it dropped to 22 for an hour, kill rate is going to be a lot higher. So the lower the temperature goes, the higher the kill rate. The buds, if the blossoms are closed, if the flowers are closed, then the temperatures can drop a lot lower than if they're open. So once they're open and the pistil of the flower is exposed, that's when kill rates start to really increase. And
thanks for explaining that. It's interesting. I thought that broadcasting was difficult because of the technology issues and every day something thrown at you, but farming, wow. Just throughout the years as we go revisit farmlands and the things that you guys have to endure, to take a year that there's complete loss and you need to mitigate that with several years and the life of the plant itself and to grow them to gestation of where they'll actually fruit. The freezes that you're faced with, the bugs, the white combine, the hail that comes through, so many things, the obstacles that you have to overcome as farmers, where seemingly last year was just a brilliant year. It was beautiful, and it was just so plentiful. The year before that, it was dry, wasn't it, Brian?
We had a couple of years of drought before. Last year was great. We had a couple of years of drought before that. We barely scraped by, had enough water, and we're kind of just going year to year. But really, we've had a great run here since 2013 was the last really devastating frost year that we had. So we've had quite a few good crops between then and now, and our we buy crop insurance. It's super expensive. And we buy it for years like this. There's a lot of red tape attached to that, where we have to have a certain budget in order to be paid, and there's been farmers that have had to sue the insurance company to get the money. And I don't know the details of that, but it does keep we're worried, and we really don't like being in this position. We're here working hard, and we want to succeed at it, and it's not pretty. Well, insurance basically might cover your expenses. It might cover your expenses, but not land payments or anything like that.
In the year of the government dole, just handing out money like it's Tic Tacs, right? There are news articles talking about federal aid relief coming down the pipeline for you. Governor Polis is talking about the peach freeze, and I think the sensitivity of the food chain is at an all-time high right now. Freeman, I think you'd agree too. But gents, are there any patterns that we can look at if you see a freeze this early in the year that can cause that? Is that any indicator of what we'll see throughout the summer and the fall? Freeman, do you want to jump on that one?
I would probably be with Brian. I think it's hard to tell. I mean, the Farmer's Almanac is like the best place to give you an idea.
How accurate is that? The Farmer's Almanac. It's pretty good, isn't it?
It is, surprisingly enough. I mean, it's a good general scope, but it's hard. I mean, I think a lot of people are measuring. Brian, I'm sure, is looking at water levels right now, because is the ditch full enough right now that he's going to get through the season? I think that's where more of the farmers are looking at. We're looking at like heat indexes, but Colorado is one of those places that we could have the perfect conditions, and then everything goes upside down in 2 weeks. What would you say, Brian?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I think we have good snowpacks, so water's not going to be a concern for Western Colorado, where I'm at. I'm not sure about Southern. Once you start going south, I'm not sure what the snowpacks were down there. Hopefully, they're great. The weather's so unstable. We watched 5 different hailstorms barely miss us, just skirt us. And last year, which was unnerving, but we got through it, and it was all fine. So yeah, I mean, we kind of just have to have some confidence in our work, and the historical averages. And when we do take a hit, just accept it and keep moving forward, and keep our heads up, stay positive, and stay stoked on what we're doing.
Brian, I think something you touched on that I would give a little more emphasis to is it's just a concept of labor and the challenge that you presented, that quite honestly, I don't mean this with any bad intentions behind it, but the reality is I've been in this industry for 25 years, and I've watched people come out of the Front Range and say, "Oh, I want to be farmer. Let me go pick on your orchard. Let me go do stuff." 9 times out of 10, they cost you more money than they make you, because mistakes that they make, and this, it's a big concern, and the level that they work is so slow compared to
migrant workers. Yeah.
I love the spirit of people getting excited about agriculture, getting out there, getting involved. And I really think little by little, everybody can learn, how to do a good job. But it can take years. And I mean, just physically getting in shape and going out and doing labor for 8 to 16 hours a day sometimes. That takes a toll on people. And so, I mean, I have nothing but respect and admiration for all the migrant workers that are here producing all this food that we all enjoy, including my family. And I think that, I hope folks don't lose sight of the beauty of what these people are giving up to come over here, dedicate their lives to our food production. And I'm not trying to take away from any American at all by saying that. So
yeah, if they would do the job. Here's a question for you. Through this food crisis, or basically the chains being broken, and now we're seeing in retail on the meat manufacturing, and not so much in the produce end. We see that in the food service aspect. But organic versus conventional is organic, and you do both, Brian. Is organic becoming less important right now to folks that are buying?
We haven't had anything to sell yet, so it'll probably be July 15th by the time we're turning out some product. But during 2008, we saw major losses on organic sales. I mean, I think we were selling like 10,000 boxes a year organically. That in 2007, maybe.
Now this was the last economic downturn.
This was the last downturn. So trends, in my opinion, are people lock into just making sure that they keep a tight budget and that they ensure their future. So details of health become maybe a little bit less relevant, and survival seems to kick in.
Brian Freeman,
we saw that recover within 3 years, though. So
3 years. Brian Freeman, what about you? What's your lens look like as far as organic versus conventional in a very price-driven market right now?
I definitely think that the price is an issue for sure. I mean, I think people are going to need a little relief, and organic might be harder. I would say for us in that last economic downturn, we were still increasing numbers as far as volumes.
Good.
We've been, we on the organic side have always seen a consistent year over year increase in sales. So I don't think that's going to go away necessarily, but I do think it's going to tighten up. I think people, just because people just aren't going to have the money. Yeah. Now,
would it be out of the realm of reality that you would sell your organic cherries for the same price as your conventional cherries? Or would you meet it in the middle for one commodity market?
We would definitely sell the organic into the conventional market, and most likely just not label it. Just give it the conventional labeling to not destroy what we're doing.
The integrity of the organic brand. Very
smart. Yeah, and we would we spend a lot more money on the inputs, and then the trees are much more finicky when you're growing organically. So that wouldn't be viable long term, but just short term in order to move product. I don't see that being an issue this year at all. Just because we don't have we don't have a full crop. But I think there's little ripples, but organic is extremely important, and we would like to eventually be 100% organic. We just can't do that. We just can't do that now because there isn't enough market to pick up the volume of the conventional side. But we've been expanding the organic program for I'm gonna say we've been doing it for 15 years now. And it's slowly expanding, and we see these ripples, but I think long term it's going to be an important part of what we do, and probably all of what we do.
Yeah. Okay. Dumb question, but I can ask it because I'm not a farmer and I'm not Brian Freeman. I didn't invent produce like Brian did. So the peach trees, what's going to be how come the cherry trees weren't affected like the peach trees?
The cherries are completely gone. There are no cherries after the frost came through. The cherries, there were 4 frost nights in a row, and they made it through the first night, and then the second, third, and fourth nights just chewed them up, and so there's really nothing left in the cherries. The peaches we're seeing some really good blocks, and then we're seeing some blocks that are devastated. So
give folks an idea of what a bad hailstorm would do to your business in June.
June would be the most devastating time to get a hailstorm. Anything after you've thin. So we prune in January, February, and maybe March, and then we thin mid-April through probably the end of May. And so once the thinning's done, most of our investment in the crop has been paid for. And also you're doing your insect control and a lot of other work. So if you get a hailstorm after thinning, that's where you really have the most risk. And
so does hail? We know it damages the fruit. Doesn't make it taste any different. Is it just an aesthetics thing of why that can't go to market?
Yeah, a lot of times it looks like somebody has punched their fingernail, like their index fingernail, through the peach, and it just that it's a little like crescent moon shaped mark in it, just like you put your fingernail through, and that grosses people out because they think that someone handling their fruit, did that. So we've tried to sell those peaches, and it was a complete flop. We had to refund money, and so if you have a really bad hailstorm, it's definitely not worth harvesting.
Brian, you wanted your money back?
No,
Brian didn't want his money back.
I would know what I'm getting into, and Brian, one of the things that Brian does is he has a secondary market for stuff like this. Sometimes the problem is if everyone has a hailstorm, everyone has very cheap food processing peaches. If only a couple people get hail, there's an opportunity to get rid of that stuff early in the season, because early in the season is when the highest price of the peaches are coming out. And if you have some really inexpensive processing stuff, you should be able to move that off of your farm. But Brian knows this, because you never want to get to the end of the season. And, and I think Brian's always done an excellent job. Brian and there's another farmer near Brian that I know Brian likes as well, but
like 2.5-star rating.
Yeah. Well, it's this concept of do early season stuff, but good flavor early season stuff, so you can get and take advantage of the bigger market in the beginning. Now, a lot of people are moving that way, so you got to be careful, because a lot of people are trying to capture that early market. And there's a lot of these, what are they, J Hale 17s or?
Oh, God.
What are those?
Oh, like PF 1s or 5s or 8s or 13s or whatever. Yeah.
Terrible tasting peach, but it's first to market.
Wow.
Let's do this. The early fruit is it's legitimately junk compared to the later fruit. But people are impatient and they get excited and really jump the gun and want the very first peach. And we've never bought into that ultra early season stuff, just because it's our name's on the box, and we don't like putting out stuff that's not high quality. And it's not the grower's fault. It's not good quality. It's just an earlier season piece of fruit, and it tastes great. Well, if you haven't had a peach in a year, they're great. But compared to the stuff later on, it's it only gets better as the season progresses. So
it's apples and oranges. Anyway, guys, let's do this. You'd look at Brian Cox right now, and you'd never know. Brian, you're recovering from coronavirus right now.
Yeah.
So here it is. You think of Palisade, Colorado. You think of a rural area. You think of wide open spaces out on an orchard. Let's spend a couple of minutes talking about that, Brian. And you're open about it, and I want to hear it from you. Tell us the story, would you?
Yeah. So our family, we got infected. I was infected either the 8th or the 11th of March, and it doesn't really matter the circumstances. It's a virus. It's like the wind. No one, we can't control it. And so anyway, I got infected, and then the day before St. Patty's Day, I started feeling pretty under the weather. I thought I had a cold before that, so I may have had a cold and coronavirus overlapping at that point. So on by St. Patty's Day, we made a great St. Patty's dinner and sat down and didn't say a word the whole meal, which is really unlike us. So yeah, it started out as a cold. Then I'd say by the 18th or 19th, I started having some flu symptoms, and was kind of laid up at home for 3 days, going through what I thought was maybe a flu, and then lost my sense of smell and taste, and kind of had, like, my grandfather had emphysema, and I felt like he looked when I would watch him coughing, and so it was a
So
rough,
10
rough
days went
deal.
by from when you felt you were infected. 10 days went by. Is it the 17th? You thought the 7th or the 11th? Was there any testing that took place, or was it just this all symptom based? Is what you were?
It was symptom based, and well, I did end up getting tested, and so really once my smell and taste went, I had the flu-like symptoms. I locked up and started wearing masks and gloves to the gas station, and I was extra cautious, and I was trying to protect myself, but it worked out well because I was actually protecting other people. And I looked like a fool, nobody was wearing gloves or masks at that time. And
oops, we lost your video.
Sorry, I thought I had it on airplane mode.
You and I both got a call at the same time. I had mine on airplane mode, and the guy still got a call.
But yeah, so it really goes downhill. I think between day 10 and 14 is where my wife, when she got it, her lungs started filling up with fluid. She felt like she had 10 pounds of water weight just sloshing around in her chest, like bags hanging in her lungs. And so, that was a bummer. We throughout that, she ended up getting tested, I think the 24th maybe or something, and tested positive. So then I knew that I had it, and we knew we had it when we got tested. Then the health department wanted me to come in, get tested, which they wouldn't do. I called them that morning, and they wouldn't test me. And then once Rebecca's my wife. Once she tested positive, they immediately required that I come down and get tested. And they've got this like gauntlet set up down here at the fairgrounds where the sheriff is sitting there. It kind of looks like they're maybe sticking your license plate in a computer to drive into this concrete area where the National Guard kind of get some information from you. And then you go up, and there's two guys wearing Tyvek suits and protective gear, and they swab your nose. And thanks to all those guys, those guys are really putting their families at risk and their lives on the line for us. And I just want to say thanks a ton to those folks. And I would never do that job, but I'm glad somebody will.
So as far as the outbreak goes with your family and then your immediate community, let's just say your Petri dish, the folks that are closest to you, any other infections with that outbreak? And then how are you and the farm deemed, in what esteem right now? How do they hold that?
Yeah, so I'll start, like, as far as infection goes, our kids, my daughter's 6 and my son is 4. They both did get the virus. They had a dry cough, a mild fever, I think 100.4 degrees. And then they had, they were lethargic for probably 3 days where they were really half speed, and then kind of came out of it from there.
So COVID didn't leave one stone unturned in your family.
No, it's destroyed. It's destroyed us since we've had it. It's been pure destruction. Our employees have been running our business for a month and a half, And I talk to him on the phone and try to, I drive around in my truck, but I don't get out, and I try to give him, guidance as I can, but I haven't been in my shop building for a month and a half. The health department clears you after once you started your symptoms, gone 2 weeks with symptoms, and then go 3 days without a fever, they clear you and you can go out to businesses. Before that, they wanted you to, they said I could come to my office. I could walk around my neighborhood, which didn't end up going well because when I go walk for walks around my neighborhood, I walk past 20 to 40, mostly older folks. And I felt like that was really irresponsible. So I called the health department back and they said I could go walk in the desert. And so we would just go find a crappy isolated spot and that really wouldn't attract other people. And we just go walk around and hang out. And it was great. I mean, we've had a great time out in the outdoors in that regard.
I guarantee, Brian, that somebody out there right now is thinking, well, is his produce safe?
Yeah, and
what do you say to that?
There's going to be we have had zero people at the farm getting sick. We're monitoring for that. We have 4 houses set up and ready to go to move anyone into if they were to get sick. We've put less guys per house. We have reduced the size of each crew down, and then there's 3 separate groups. They've also reduced the amount of times they go to the grocery store and try to consolidate, and then they send one guy per crew to do all the shopping. And we've gotten gloves and masks for everyone. And so yeah, we're taking a lot of precautions. I mean, I'm
pure speculation, but obviously the more people that are tested, the more coronavirus cases there are, just because of the testing. What's your feeling of those out there right now? How far do you feel that COVID's ran its course? What are your feelings with what you're?
Just based on the numbers, I think the Front Range is way further ahead than we are. Grand Junction and Palisade and Fruita area have only had, I think, 38 cases, and so really nobody has immunity here. I mean, I think you could basically triple that number, whatever the number is. I think you could triple it because there's a bunch of people who either just took it like a man and didn't go in for testing and just went through it, got out of it, or maybe they were not symptomatic, and so.
Are you glad you've had it?
Yeah, I mean,
does that give you
I can't say that. If I have lifetime immunity, which it doesn't look like is the case, it looks like there's maybe 1 to 2 years of immunity out of it, then no, I would no. If I get lifetime immunity out of it, like chickenpox, then yeah, absolutely, water under the bridge, and I'm very thankful to not have to worry about me and my kids and my wife. I'm still extremely worried about my parents and other folks that have pre-existing conditions, and yeah, I don't want to freak anyone out, but I think it's definitely worth taking the precautions and trying to wait until we have some sort of treatment for this. I felt like I had a mild stroke at one point. I passed out while I was driving my truck and got to the side of the road, and my wife started driving. I mean, we've been in the hospital and had an MRI for brain imaging to see what was going on in my head. And it's no joke at all. It's nothing like you have cold and flu symptoms, but then it can develop into something way more serious with your lungs and also with your brain. And I mean, there's people having strokes, and I can see where it goes off the tracks. And I would say we went through probably, of the 45 days, 10 have been absolutely horrible. And the rest were, we could go for a walk and we just weren't feeling good, but we weren't devastated.
Glad to see you back on your feet, my friend. Brian, close it up, would you? We got about a minute left.
Well, real quick, Greg, I just want to say, I mean, what Brian is talking about, though, we are still seeing, I just got an email from a big client today, and I don't want to blow it up because it's pretty serious. They're closing their entire warehouse today and moving to a new facility because they just got one case. And I think that the concern is we're still going to see these random cases come up in big places that are going to shut down. I mean, like what's been going on with the Swift, with, Swift was the first. Tyson has just announced. I saw an article yesterday talking about slaughtering 100 to 200,000 chickens. We don't have the people to buy it. We don't have the people to process. And that, I think, is going to be a continued bigger issue. And so, big picture, Brian, thank God you guys are safe. I mean, I'm super happy. Totally. You and Rebecca, the kids, everyone's fine. I mean, you guys are in a small community that's so important. And I don't think many people around the country realize how important agriculture communities like the one you live in is to all of our well-being. Absolutely. And so thanks for coming on today, Brian. And, I send much love. I was waiting for the frame behind me. I've got a picture of your peaches in my office.
Oh, right on. That's awesome.
Guys, I have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good. Always great hearing your voice. And
be well. Okay, we're going to catch up with you. Right. Next time we call you, we're going to do the tour, okay? So get ready.
Absolutely,
yeah. We'll do that this week. Thank you. Right. There it is, Brian Cox. See you, Freeman.
Thank you, guys. Have a great show. Great
too.
Work. Keep it up.
Thank you. That's Brian Freeman. Man, good show today. That's for sure. Standing by Rebecca Berry. She's going to jump right. There she is. Hi, Rebecca Berry. She's connecting to her audio. And look at that hat. Look at that beautiful face and that beautiful hat.
Look at this hat.
So
and
cool.
I am with a really impressive,
I know him.
In case you did not know.
Chef. Hi, Chef.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Rebecca, do the setup. You know how to do this. Where are you at? What you doing?
Yeah. Hey, guys. Well, thanks for having me on today. I'm pretty excited because I asked Chef Travis with Bistro Colorado if I could come over today and kind of chat with you guys, see what's going on here. So I reached out to Jay yesterday because we've had a lot of exciting things go on, and Chef has just been amazing with helping with the community projects that we're doing, and he's reopened to do curbside. So we got to spread the word about the good food here.
I agree completely. Well, take it away. What's some of the stuff you've been working on? I have to tell you that I visited that adorable pop-up that you and Jen created at Lever's Locavore. And my heart was so warmed because it's everything these communities need. And you've put so much effort and so much love into such a beautiful project that I would encourage everybody. Go shop local, first of all. But while you're there, go a step further and show your support for your favorite local restaurant, distillery, and talk about that project just for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I am wearing our Bistro Colorado shirts that you can get over there at the pop-up as well. So what we did is Lever's Locavore was a place where you could go grab a glass of wine, grab a sandwich, sit and eat. Obviously, with what's going on with COVID-19, we currently can't do that. So there's all this open space. And Chris Franklin gave you a call and said, hey, I have an idea. And you put me in charge, and he put Jen in charge, and we took off with it.
Yes, you did.
So what we did is we contacted a lot of our local friends who are sitting on merchandise, right? Merchandise that can be used for revenue to come back into the concept to tip their employees, pay some bills, whatever means they need, pay for some food maybe. So we came by and picked up some merchandise, set it all up. Our lovely Gigi Youngblood came in and took photographs for us recently, so you can actually see the color because my phone's not that good. And 100% of the proceeds, plus any other donation, does go back to that concept. There's no profit going to the Modern Eater, no profit to Hot Schedules, no profit to Leavers. It's all 100% back to that concept. I've had people who, Andy's sister actually donated an extra $15. A girlfriend of mine just donated an extra $30. So the community is really reaching out. You can get everything from some cool chef hats, sunglasses, long sleeve, short sleeve, sweatshirts. We've got the big growlers from Lowdown. So it's really more about driving the community process with that. And with that involvement too, Chef Travis actually helped. I'm trying to get him in there.
Hey, Chef.
He helped myself and Randy Manning with Manning Law to come up with some lunches to feed the nurses at Rose Medical. So we are social distancing safely here.
Yes, you are.
Physically distancing.
Right.
So we had Bistro Colorado, 5280 Burger Bar, Perfect Bite Catering, Tessa Aspen Baking Company, Bono's Barbecue, Max Grill and Grill, Little Tonelli, and Perry's Pizza all paired together. We fed over 2,000 nurses.
Shut the front door.
Yep.
Oh,
and we're still doing some things. I mean, I've got my hands in a few projects, and Randy had some larger donors who have kind of taken that off my plate. But yeah, we had all of these concepts contribute. And the beautiful thing about that was these nurses have nowhere to eat. Their cafeterias are shut. As Rose Medical and Rose Babies, there's nowhere to eat around there. So unless they want to go to the gas station, there's nothing in their 12-hour shift. But what Randy wanted to do was come in, feed the nurses, but supply the restaurants with funds so that it covered the cost of the meals, so that we weren't just asking for a handout from restaurants that were suffering. We were covering those costs and hopefully then some. So that's one of the first projects, and Chef Travis stepped up immediately and said, hey, I want in. So here we are.
Spectacular work, just spectacular.
Really exciting.
Yeah, and it's like restaurants and chefs, the first thing that they do when they're turned on their ear and devastated, well, let's feed people. First,
right.
Yeah, I know. And Rebecca, geez, people, you're still working. Hot Schedule is powered by Fourth. And first of all, what is EPLI insurance and compliance?
So EPLI insurance is your employer insurance. So it's really important that we talk about this. So thank you, Greg, for bringing that up. It's natural, right? In this time of a day when people are laid off and there's mass furloughs, that people do things in a state of panic when they are financially challenged and when income is tight and everybody's already on edge. What that insurance coverage does is it allows us as Fourth to come in and investigate if there's a suit for wrongful termination. So it could be, you lay off 90% of your workforce and you bring back a few and maybe you don't bring back your most seasoned person for specific reasons that have nothing to do with anything with race, gender, color, age, any of that. But they feel that there's an opportunity to litigate that. So what Fourth does is we actually, part of our partnership, which is included, there's no additional fees, we go in, we investigate, and if necessary, we send a team out. Again, no additional fees for that. And we're actually able to mitigate a lot of those costs, and a lot of these suits do not go to court because we're able to uncover a lot of documentation while the owner-operator can continue their work and continue to start rebuilding their business. So we see a lot of that in times like this. Unemployment rates as well with SUTA, state unemployment tax rates, tend to go up. I know that, or my understanding, I should say, is that those rates right now are going to be more controlled due to the COVID-19. They still will see somewhat of a spike. And due to our buying power and the fact that we hold essentially the FEIN, so your federal tax number under our umbrella of all of this, it's blended through all of these other companies that we file as one entity. So we're able to control those costs as well that can spike later on down the road and it's costly. And right now margins are so thin and, just food costs are rising. I just heard you speaking with Chef Justin, and he's absolutely right. Like the cost of meat is going way up. It's very sparse. He does local, so he's used to paying more. But we just want to ensure that we're mitigating these costs and these risks to restaurants.
Well, what I love is the protection and the layers of protection that you provide. Putting yourself out on an island, especially when you're a small business person right now, is so daunting. It's terrifying. And just to know somebody like you who we love, we trust you, we know you, you're going to give us the real skinny. You're going to provide all of, and a lot of it's just because you love the industry so much. And I do. You want folks to just be okay. The best thing to do is contact Rebecca directly. Now, you can get her on all of her social media, but probably the best way is rebecca.berry@fourth.com. So the things that you can cover a gamut of things. Just go through the list again of what you can cover.
Yeah. So, and I'll make it kind of quick because I can be long-winded. So essentially, we're starting out as brand new businesses and having to pivot. So we do recruiting, we do onboarding, we do payroll, scheduling, all HR. So you're going to have to redo your HR booklets, and there's nothing worse than having an outdated handbook than not having one because you're giving the wrong information. We're going to have to pivot everything based on the COVID-19 new laws and regulations. We cover all of that. Again, like I said, EPLI, tax rates, we file all of that. We do not do your basic business taxes, but I have a partnership with Swick & Associates, Eric Swick, who is amazing and can handle all of that. So you essentially get that bundled partnership as well. So we're really end-to-end solution and one platform. We are very transparent. A lot of your payroll companies will hide a lot of the fees like W-2s, ACA billing. We will break everything down for you and have a clear conversation so you know what you're getting. And the difference between us and a normal PEO is generally with a PEO, you have to go with their insurance. You have to go with their workers' comp. If you have an insurance partner that you love, that you want to go with, we'll carve that out. Same thing with the workers' comp. So we're not taking control of your business. We're taking the protection of your business so you can focus on everything else.
Wow. I'll tell you what, the few minutes that we spend together, you put so much information out there for folks. And again, best way is rebecca.berry@fourth.com. Also, Chef Travis, Bistro Colorado, you're with him. Today, you launched hey, young man, you launched a little fundraiser. I threw a couple bucks into the till, and I would encourage other folks to do the same thing. You mind talking about that just for a minute, Chef Travis?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for donating. I haven't really been looking at it to see how well it's doing, but I think we had about $80 in there within a couple of hours. And then I kind of got busy getting the lines.
There's more in there, buddy. There's more.
Is there more in there than that?
And listen, these are the folks that you want to support. So continue on, and then we'll jump to our next guest. But go ahead.
So anyway, we're just trying to raise some money to provide some meals for people who might be food insecure. Details are on our website, bistrocolorado.com, and someone can go in there, say, hey, call us up. I need to get a couple of meals for somebody. No questions asked. They can come on over here, pick them up, and take them and deliver them. You know, if there's a need out there, with all the things that are going on, it's just like, man, we need to do something to kind of feel right about things. You know, I mean, we're not as busy as we want to be, so we've got the time and we have the resources. We have the kitchen, and I think I probably get some volunteers if it gets real busy. Yeah. Reach out to our chef Cheeto.
Yeah, we love Cheeto.
Well, listen, as we exit here, I want to say something that's very important. Chef Travis needs your support too, and as much as donating to this fine cause that you're put together, I'd like to see folks support you directly and get your fine cuisine that's there waiting for them, and they can order now. They can get their dinner ready for tonight. What's on the menu for tonight?
Oh, we got a ton of things. We've actually added pizzas to our menu, so and we've got some great mac and cheese with you've tried it,
yes,
I think.
Sir, yes.
Both tried it.
I can
mac
vouch.
And cheese with buffalo chicken on there.
I ate most of Greg's too.
Oh, well, good for you.
That's right. He wasn't looking.
You snooze, you lose, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we've got a lot of things on there. Kind of an upscale or casual comfort food with a Colorado flavor profile, flavor preference, if you will, styles of cuisines. People love pizza. People love pizza with pulled pork on it, So we've got one that has shaped prime rib on there for one of our pizzas, and it's there is no limit. There is no finish line to innovation. So that's kind of where we're at. That's where we're at with our menu, and just trying to be a part of the community and try to be a solution to this pain that we're all having right now.
Let's keep this ship afloat. We love this gentleman and Chef Travis Smith. It's Bistro Colorado. What's the phone number there?
720-648-8800.
648
Colorado. Yeah, bistrocolorado.com. 720-648-8800.
The Modern Eater, signed, sealed, delivered. That's the place. They've got our stamp on them. Thank you. And then let's say goodbye to Rebecca here real quick.
Hey, I just want to say one last thing real quick and not to steal too much of Larry's time. I love Larry. We are doing another quick project. Right now I'm working with Rich O'Brien, who's one of our sponsors at the Modern Eater.
Yes, ma'am.
Blonde Beards Buffalo Sauce, and Zach, the Spice Guy, to feed the firehouses. And then we're creating this project now with Chris from Liebers where we're passing the baton. I'm calling it the Pass the Baton Project. So Chris is going to take it over once we're done with our stash of things from Redbird and all these suppliers. And he's going to go with River Bear Meats, and we're using Cooper Small Batch and Little Rich's Rackalitas to do taco night for the firehouses, and hoping to pass it on to maybe Marzik's, Wink Wink, and Tony's to keep this going.
Gosh, that's cool. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Rebecca Berry right there. Thanks, Rebecca. Jumping
Love
to
you
the
guys.
next.
Talk to
Love
you
you
soon.
too. Bye. Larry Herz on right now. Larry, do you have another device on in the background?
He does.
Why didn't you mute him then? Didn't that last one? Why didn't you mute him? Just answer me that.
Because this is that. And to go into this, and I know that doesn't make sense if you're listening, but my computer is this screen.
Gotcha.
So I would have had to move cameras.
I'm just trying to figure out all this. We're trying
You
to
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, though, right?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hey, we had a pretty good technical day today.
Oh, I had to say that.
I know, as Larry's here. Well, and it is all melting down with your video right now, Larry.
Yeah. Well, I muted him. That's why it sounds great right now.
Well, no, I know, but he should be able to go.
I don't have anything on.
You don't have anything on?
No.
And he's muted?
100%.
Well, now he's not.
And now he's not. All right. We'll work with it. Work with it.
Man,
Larry, he's looking at like, it's you, Larry, is what he's doing.
Not me.
Nothing on in the background? No other device going?
No.
I believe
I would not mess with you.
You want to try it the old-fashioned way, the other way?
Yes, I still have Rebecca's name underneath him.
You want to try that? What do you think, Larry? We can do it this way.
I'm game for anything, always.
For anything? What kind of watch you got on there?
Oh, it's a TomTom.
I'm not
What's
familiar.
really cool about this thing, this is for running. I run after work every other day. You don't need to bring your phone with you, and I have all my music in here. So then it connects my wireless headphones, and I got all my music, and of course it tracks how fast and how far you're running. I'm a big fan of the TomTom watch.
TomTom watch.
It's not very stylish. It's just you can run with it, bike with it, swim with it. It's waterproof. It's not very attractive.
I want to do an experiment. What if you muted Larry right now? What would happen?
Yeah, my wife wants to do that.
Hold on, I gotta get.
What would happen if you muted Larry? I'm gonna just keep talking.
Sound better.
No. Well, we got to mute. You can't mute Larry's screen.
He's
can you?
muted.
He's muted.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds fine.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Larry. It's Larry.
That's why.
Hey, Larry,
I'm not
disconnect and reconnect.
I'm not blaming.
Try that, Larry. And in the meantime, while he's doing that, I got to tell you about more local goodness, and it's gluten-free things. Gluten-free things in Arvada. It's a bakery designed for the gluten-free and vegan folks. Are you gluten-free? Cool. Are you vegan? Cool. Are you gluten-free and vegan? Cool. He's got you covered. Gluten-free Things is a bakery. Again, I told you in Arvada that they have crostinis, hot dog buns, pitas and pizza crust, graham crackers, and cookies and cupcakes and French loaves. This gentleman has perfected it. We call him Crazy John Irvin, the gluten-free wizard.
Yeah.
And the gluten-free wizard is ready to serve you out of his bakery in Arvada. It's across from, what high school is that?
Arvada West.
Arvada West. How did you do that, Jay?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. But just a stone's throw away, you can go visit them or shop online at glutenfreethings.com. We got Larry coming back in. Let's keep our fingers crossed because Larry we like to hear loud and clear. We got two Larrys.
Yeah.
We got a double Larry.
Let me remove this Larry.
Larry coming in. All right, Larry, we're standing by for Larry. We want good audio. OCN Eats and OCN Drinks. Larry joins us each and every day, and we talk about new restaurant openings and new closings, and a lot of times the new openings are just reopenings and what they're doing, whether it's curbside delivery.
Yeah, you know what popped into my head the other day when it comes to, because you were talking about the carnage of this. I was talking with a chef on the phone today, and she was telling me that, and I hadn't looked at this perspective of things, right? But so she was saying, I said, hey, I'm trying to get her on the show, and I'm not mentioning any names, but now you know it's a girl. And I said, well, what are you doing in the meantime, right? She worked at a place. They closed down. Now, she said, I've been trying to open my own place for a while. And now, unfortunately, is going to be a great time for me to where the locations are opening up because of people going under. And so it's like, it's a little bit of lemonade out of lemons, but I hadn't really thought about
circle,
that.
To where someone goes out, someone comes in.
There's a lot of people right now that their dream has been to open their own little coffee shop, their own little restaurant, right? But they couldn't do it because of what's going on and the popularity of Denver food and beverage.
Need innovation for sure.
This is going to be a good opportunity for them to get into a location, at reasonable prices because of the pandemic. And so it's, like I say, it's lemonade out of lemons. But what are you going to do?
The Spice Guy is what you're going to do. You're going to get your spices in Colorado's favorite spice company. Hell, it might be America's favorite spice company.
Maybe.
It might be. Favorite spice company right now. Restaurant chefs, you're getting ready. You're getting ready to reopen. I know you are.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're getting ready to reopen, you need to go look and see, how are my spices doing? Do I have everything I need, right? Make that food tasty. If you're going to get chicken, you got to make chicken 10 ways.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you get some spices.
You're going to need spices.
Spice it up.
Listen, if you're cooking, Greg, and you don't have the right spices, then you're wasting everything. I mean, you're wasting it.
Another great local company right here, and you can order online. It goes right to your house. Just Google The Spice Guy. The first entry right there. Bang. The Won't Stay Down box is what you want, the ultimate quarantine kit. The restaurant businesses are revamping. We call it rebooting right now, Jay. Rebooting their engines.
I'm rebooting this thing to Larry right here is what I'm doing.
Really?
Yeah, he says he can't get back in. So
okay, guys, here's something. $50. We're giving it away today. It's real easy. All you have to do is go to YouTube, subscribe to the Modern Eater YouTube channel, leave a comment on that video that's live right now, and then in 24 hours we're going to pick somebody randomly. How do we contact them, though? Oh, we probably just leave a reply with our email on the YouTube page. So we will reply to somebody that will win $50 to shop local. That's Lever's local for what? What'd you figure out, Jay?
I think they kicked me out too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I don't see my side of this.
All right, fire up this Cadillac and I'll tap dance.
Well, okay. Well, let me. Okay.
No?
Well, yeah. Right.
Okay, well something's got to be done at this point. We got to do something. I'll tell you more about local brands. And right now, who am I going to tell you about? I'm going to tell you about Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Chef Preston Phillips did that from Grind Kitchen and Watering Hole. What did Preston do? Preston went and got himself a smoker. He took his restaurant business in Cherry Creek at Grind Kitchen and Watering Hole and added another dimension. What's that dimension? That smoker is sitting out in a parking spot right next to Grind Kitchen and Watering Hole. He's got ribs waiting for you. And all thanks to Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Who's Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions? Well, they're suppliers. They supply all of the latest and greatest needs. He's ringing on the doorbell in here, too. Did you know that?
I was just going to do it on here.
Okay, but I thought you said that the doorbell got shut down.
I just my end's shut down.
I'm going to try.
I have to fight my. What? I have to fight my. I'm not saying I'm.
Cadillac's firing up. We'll have Larry Herz, and then we'll have the Dr. Sara Metz. But right now, we're talking about all of you guys sitting out back, looking at your old ugly grill or smoker. You want to refresh. You want to get better. You're going to spend a lot of time in your backyard. So what are you going to do? You're going to get yourself a new grill or smoker. They can deliver it to you, or you can go pick it up from their new location in Littleton or in their location off of Federal and 25th. The phone number, 720-612-7324. Riddle me this. I see the doctor on there right there.
I know, man. I think it's a Larry thing, man. I mean, I got back in.
This is good, though. We have the doctor right here. Hey, doctor, we can't hear you.
No.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you now. This is good, and you sound loud and clear.
Yay. Good job, Jay.
Okay, let's.
I don't know about that.
This doesn't sound good, but let's do the doctor now.
All right.
And then we'll do Larry later.
Technically, if I could be the for once, that sounds way
Why is
better
that
than
perverted?
Well, you're the one that said, I know this doesn't sound well, but...
Well, all right. Maybe it doesn't.
You
Where
know-
are you, doctor, in your new home office?
I am in my new home office.
Dr. Sara Metz or Dr. Baby Yoda from Code 4 Counseling.
Got mine. I got my little guy here.
Are they the same?
They are the same.
Oh, yours is bigger.
Is it? Well, it should be.
Or maybe my hands just make it look smaller.
Ooh.
Look at that. Doctor, you got the dog in your lap. You got the new office going on there. It's time to get organized. Do you feel out of sorts when you're not organized, doctor?
I'm very rarely organized, so I don't know that I would know what it's like to be organized. I kind of just live kind of winging it. So, yes, that probably causes more stress in my life than is needed, but I figure it out.
Did you see the reports about these large meatpacking plants and the problems that they're having with the outbreaks of coronavirus with their employees?
I did.
Shocking, isn't it?
It's shocking, and then that's just another layer of stress and that everyone's dealing with. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Another reason to support local with food where you know it's at.
Then my hubby is going to pick up our Sangria's Fest burgers as we speak.
What do you mean pick them up? They're not delivered to you? Oh, to the old house.
The old house. So gotcha. They just got delivered today, so he's going back to the old house to pick them up, and that's going to be dinner tonight.
I really like this new setup because I can hear the doctor perfectly now.
No clicking and no weirdness.
No clicks and pops.
I never did figure out what that was. I could always hear it on my end too.
I never did figure it out either. Hey, so I have an ask.
What do you got?
So May 8th, it's a Friday. COVID, right here.
Yes, is that what's happening on the 8th?
Brother Luck's going to co-host it. Hazel Miller's going to be our house. Hazel Miller, do you know this gal? She's grand, and she's a lovely woman. She's so talented. She's a singer. She says, I'm going to show up, and I'm going to treat this like a nightclub. I'm going to be wearing a cocktail dress and look real good for you guys, and she's going to sing her heart out. Yes, it's all coming together. Folks are going to perform with us over, like they're doing in their living rooms, right? Some great musicians, great chefs. They're going to join us on this stream from 2 to 5 p.m. Friday, May 8th for COVID. It's a fundraiser for the Angel Relief Fund and Mary Mino from the Colorado Restaurant Foundation.
Very cool.
Would you make an appearance in the studio here and make my day? Stop by, say hi.
April 8th.
It's not April, it's May 8th. We could rewind the clock, though, or next year do it.
What did I say?
But April 8th is over. Maybe I said April.
I don't feel like it is. I feel like we're just Groundhog Day. But yeah, we will move into May. May
8th. I know. Can you believe it? We kind of like took a mulligan on April this year.
My gosh, March and April just lasting forever. I'll be there. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. So it'll be just a close group of people. It'll be me, Jay, Brother Luck, who's a great chef and from Top Chef fame, Hazel Miller, and then you popping in. That's all that'll be here.
It's not April. I'm in.
I promise. That'll be great.
I'm playing fetch with my dog as we talk.
Hey, Larry, we still hear your background there. I don't know what's going on, but that's okay. It doesn't sound as bad.
Poor Larry.
Larry, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yeah. I think it's fine.
Larry, I'm just going to mute you until we get to you. We're going to reverse you and the doc.
Reverse you. In the doc, yes.
Or do you want to, right?
No, that's good, yeah. Okay. Finishing up Dr. Sara Metz. So today, as a Tuesday, we are taking technology head on.
How's that going?
We're,
I mean, it's
been
before
worse. Larry, I was going to say it's going perfectly. Technology is our bitch today, but no, it's not.
And then there was Larry.
So what do you do with problems that are there and you don't address them for quite some time? I got Brian Freeman. Brian just texted me and said, "Thanks, Greg. What about me in studio?" Brian, you're welcome too, man.
Didn't you say you're welcome to him?
To Brian Freeman on COVID Friday. You remember it used to be where we couldn't just assume that Brian would be with us all the time because he has a real job that pays his bills.
Yeah.
And he even told us to back off. Like, I can't do the Modern Eater all the time.
Right.
And now it's like, hey, what about me? What about me? What about me?
Yeah.
Brian.
Cool kids now that he wants to hang out with.
I think so.
Yeah,
Maybe
we got the good stuff.
We got the goodies. What do you do with stuff that you've been needing to address and you just haven't? It's on the back burner. It starts to fester and loom. Do you have to tear right into it, or you just let it go until it implodes on you?
I think you're willing to address it little by little. I think, sorry, my dog is totally wanting to play, so you hear squeaking in the background. But I think you look at those big problems and you say, okay, well, it's been sitting there for a while, so I got to tackle it a little at a time. And you just tackle a little bit at a time, and you allow yourself to feel overwhelmed. You allow it to be a long process. And my biggest feedback is don't bring shame and judgment and guilt into it. If it's been there for a while, it's going to take some time to organize. Mm-hmm. Just like a messy kitchen, if you try to tackle it all at once, that feels overwhelming. If you say, look at that corner, clean that corner up, then it goes better.
I think you're right. I mean, we can't do it all in a day. You're right. Clean that up. And just get a little bit better every day, but recognize you're going to go. I think part of our problem of why we just don't want to go right at it and change things immediately is it just seems so daunting. It just seems so overwhelming. But when you take a little bit of it at a time, just like anything else.
And label that emotion and say, I feel overwhelmed. I feel uncertain. And when you label those emotions and you allow them to exist, you realize you can still function and feel overwhelmed. You don't have to make yourself not feel overwhelmed. You don't have to make yourself not feel anxious. You're allowed to feel those things and still figure out how to function.
I'd like to draw some attention to the first of the year I quit smoking cigarettes. And it's kind of the same thing. I know that at the beginning, day 2, day 3, I know it's going to suck. I know that I don't want to address it. I know that every day is just going to be that little teeny bit. But you put 2, 3, 4 months behind you,
it feels much more manageable.
It does.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. Exactly. What are you managing right now in your life, Dr. Metz? Make yourself human to us.
Well, as you can see, I've been playing fetch with my dogs as we talk. I'm doing that. I'm running a business. I'm creating a master's program as a side hustle. I'm moving into my new house. I'm doing quite a bit, which is often overwhelming. But I also remind myself I'm really passionate about what I do, and I love what I do. And that helps me balance often feeling overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. I do sense a little overwhelmed feeling coming from you today. Yeah?
Probably. I think trying to move and do all of that at the same time is probably a lot. But the new house, we're loving it. And I think that's going to be really good for our mental health. And we go on walks every morning now, and we sit out on our deck in the evenings. And so even just those little moments where we can like relax and enjoy each other has been really nice. So,
how long does it take to create a pattern or, you're trying to turn over a new leaf?
A couple of weeks at least. And I think right now people feel like as soon as they try to get used to something changes again. So we haven't even started the stopwatch on 2 weeks before you create a new routine yet. Right? Mm-hmm. Because everyone's routine is constantly changing, and the date is changing of when they can open, and the rules are changing. And so right now it's just try to stay balanced and recognize you're gonna have to keep rolling with it for a while.
Absolutely. Are you on ground level or second story?
Second story.
Oh, I was going to say throw that dog toy out the window there, but that'd be like something about Mary.
Right out the window after it is the problem.
I know. Wasn't that something about Mary? What movie was that? Where
With it-
Ben Stiller threw that and the dog went chasing after it off the balcony?
I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Doctor, tomorrow, right?
What's tomorrow? Tomorrow, I don't even know. Tomorrow's
Well,
Wednesday.
tomorrow is you're going to be less overwhelmed than today.
All right, that'd be fantastic. I actually think there might be some truth to that. I will have had a good burger for dinner. I will have hung out with you guys this evening. Maybe we'll go walk and go grab ice cream.
Oh, that's cool. Will you take pictures of your burger, please?
Yes, I will.
You promise? Okay.
Promise.
See you tomorrow. I wish we were dancing with you right now, but that's tomorrow.
Larry will dance with you.
Oh, well, okay. That'll be interesting. Larry will dance. Bye. Dr. Sara Metz, Code 4 Counseling. Look her up online. Hi, Larry. You don't look happy that we put you off there for a minute. Larry, can you hear me? He's muted.
Let me.
You definitely hear like an echo.
No, there you are. You're back. And I'm getting like a minute ago of the programming, but now it's a little bit better. You still hear an echo, Larry?
Yeah.
Wonder why it's only you. Did we give up on the old school way, Jay? Should I do it?
Well, no, I just know because he came back and then I sent him a new link, and so I thought that would fix it.
Do you feel comfortable, Larry, the way that it is? Because we can get you on the way that we usually do. Let's do that.
Okie doke.
Okay. I just don't know what to do.
You don't need to do anything. We're going to send you a new link. And
wait.
Wait, is it all fixed? No.
Oh, then I hear myself. Yes.
That'll drive us crazy.
Very much.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I'm just gonna do it from mine. I'll just use my computer, Greg.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want to get you going right, Larry, because you sent some outtakes. Larry, do you still have those outtakes?
No, because he came back and then I sent him. Well, I can't even. Let me just do that.
Larry, I promise you, we're gonna fix it right now.
Just show videos. I'll see you tomorrow.
No, don't do that. Are you upset?
I don't know what to do. You don't need to do anything. We're going to send you a new link. And wait. Is it all fixed?
Where is that coming from? Larry, do you ever do Zoom meetings on your compute?
Every day.
Every single day.
Okay, I'm just going to do it for mine. I'll just.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
It's coming.
It's coming, Larry. Hang up on this, Larry, and then jump in that new link, and we'll be set to go. We'll be ready, and then we'll dance too. He doesn't seem happy about that at all. I don't blame him, though. I don't know what we can do different with that. Thank you, guys, for sticking around. The Modern Eater Show continues. We've got some big stuff coming up for you this week. Again, a big highlight on Friday. Mary Mino, Colorado Restaurant Foundation, 2 p.m. Big announcement right here on the Modern Eater Show. Again, it was a pleasure to have Justin Brunson from River Bear American Meats. Brunson just shedding lights on what it's like, the difference, compare and contrast. What local producers and manufacturers of meat looks like versus the big guys, the big nationals, and again the plant, the JBS plant in Greeley. Outbreaks are happening and unsafe conditions for people.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, Larry. See, now there's no echo now.
Oh, that was brutal.
That was brutal. It was starting to get me too. Okay, so you sent over a video today of some outtakes, Larry, but you needed a code to get into it.
You had to ask for permission, did you not?
Oh, did I get the permission?
You got to ask for it.
Well, how do you ask for it? Note, request access. All right, request access. It's coming back at you. All right. Complicated stuff you got there, Larry.
Well, we're high tech here.
Yes, you are. First of all, where is here? OCN Eats. Talk about that for a second.
All right. So OCN Eats is a subsidiary of OCN, which stands for Our Community Now. A lot of people think it's Ocean Eats. I hear that all the time. Of course, a lot of people think my last name's Herz. I don't know why, but so we are a community website where we talk about what's going on in Colorado. So that's ourcommunitynow.com/Colorado. And I specialize in food and drink. So there's OCN Eats and OCN Drinks on both Facebook and Instagram. And then we have a YouTube channel, OCN Videos, where we make all these fun videos like restaurant tours and restaurants near me. And I knew I had a lot of goofy stuff because I mess up a lot on these videos. So I asked the video team to make a blooper reel, and I think it's hysterical, but I don't know.
Well, it's a minute of your finest, right? All right,
Yeah.
I got this, and I think I have the permission granted. Nope, not yet. Waiting
Hold
for it.
Hold on. You were talking to me.
All right.
I got it.
No, while we're doing that, and again,
I got it.
the train coming off.
You got access. You
track
got access.
again. Okay, are you sure? Let's see. There it is. Nope, still says I need permission.
No, you got it. There's the delay.
There's a delay. Okay, while we're doing that, there's been some interesting openings, Larry.
Yeah, are you going to talk about Wolf's Tailor?
No, but tell me. I got one for you, though.
I thought for sure you would have already talked about it. Wolf's Tailor?
Nope, go for it.
Reopening.
Okay, but so Whitaker does such great stuff. It's probably with that talk program that books out just like a reservation a day in advance because he likes to know what his meals are going to be for the next day so that he doesn't have any waste. Is that what they're doing? Do you know what they're up to?
What I saw, which I'll look at again, it looked like they were doing regular menu. Let me see before I say anything dumb. I saw this beautiful picture of food.
And I still don't have access to that video, just so you know.
What do you mean?
I keep clicking on that link, the access link, but I don't have it. I want to tell you the one that I've been.
All right, you got it. I swear to you got it now.
See, I don't know. I'd like to blame all this on you today, Larry.
It's probably me.
It's okay. Are you having an off day? I have them often.
Actually, now that you mention it, I showed up at work and I realized I left my backpack at home.
Uh-oh. What was in your backpack?
My laptop.
Oh, that's a terrible one.
Now that there's no traffic, it's not a big deal to go back home. It's 10 minutes now. But
okay.
All right, you got it now.
I do have it now, and I'm going to play.
Show the clip.
Go to the clip. All right, let's see. I'm going to bring the volume up.
Make it all worthwhile. All the technical difficulties.
Really, it will.
We got to set it up more. We got to get people in the right mindset.
Okay, you set it up, and I'll make sure it's ready to go. Go ahead, set it up.
So you got to be ready to laugh because this is hysterical. Me being just a goofball. Enjoy.
Let's check it out. Finishing art today. You could see right through it, right to my. I don't know. Probably not that, huh? What do you think? Musubi. Oh, we're at Delano's. I said it wrong, didn't I? Delano's.
Oh, it's Delano.
We're at Delano's. We are right here. Yeah.
We are right here.
The Chicago hot beef sandwich is mother. You killed me, man. Make love to the cone. Aurora is so big. Speaking of big, look at this calzone. Size matters. Can't come to Low High without coming to Little Man Ice Cream for a little happy ending.
And then the finger.
Come on.
Oh, Larry, that you have more though, don't you? I mean, you film a lot. You've got.
Oh yeah, that's just episode 1.
That was just episode 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's going to be so many blooper reels.
Imagine, just doing that live, Larry. I think there'd be something to that, doing that live. And that's
doing my show live? Restaurants near me?
Yeah. That's restaurants near me. Okay. What was up for, and I want to get it right. I call it Lunch for Larry, but it actually has a name. What's the name, Larry?
It's not changing. It's What's for Lunch.
What's for Lunch. Okay.
Today's guest was Blake Street Tavern, and they do have some news to share that I'll share with you. They were just open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and starting next week, they'll be open full time, and they'll be doing their own deliveries.
Oh, fantastic. How was the food?
Oh, my God. She went crazy. She brought the whole menu.
Oh, really?
Cheese curds, mac and cheese, quesadilla, burrito, 5 different types of wings. So needless to say, my office got to eat good, and I think I'm in the running for Employee of the Month.
I would imagine you are. What's for lunch tomorrow, Larry?
Tomorrow is Blue Moon in Rhino, so they're bringing food and beer, which is awesome.
Oh, that's a good deal right there.
Yeah.
Food and
And
beer.
then just a quick announcement closing, which we really haven't discussed, but it's a huge thing. We're a big food festival town, and it's official now. Mile High Barbecue Festival has called it quits for this year. They're not going to try it. It's a great event. People come from the best barbecue people from all over the country come to that event. And then some of our local people, of course, are there too. And so pretty much the whole festival season, I think you could call it a waste. And people don't realize, people like Jeff Suskin and Patrick Culligan, who does a lot of the festivals around here, that's their livelihood. Mm-hmm. And, it takes a year of planning and renting this stuff. And those are all gone. Those poor guys, I don't know how they're ever going to get that money back.
Well, but when that ship comes in, it's a pretty lucrative occupation.
If you're good at it, when you got it dialed in like Sus does. But when you're first starting out, you can lose your
on an
event.
We put together Micro Brew Fest with 50 breweries, and not to say we didn't have great. I mean, I think we had decent attendance. Jay, it was about 1,000 people, right?
Yeah.
But with 50 breweries and 1,000 people, you know where we went wrong? One of our oversights was, Larry, and you don't do this at a beer festival, Larry. You don't do this.
What's that?
Not enough porta potties.
Thought you were going to say not enough cups, but not enough porta potties is bad too.
People were peeing in like the bushes.
Oh God!
It was not, but that was really the only complaint. But it was one of those things to where weather will knock you out of the game, and it was an inclement weather day, so a little rainy that day. We were hoping for good weather, but it landed on one of those days. It's Colorado, so weather can cut your attendance down to next to nothing, right?
Yeah, I don't know what other cities are like, but I think we're phenomenal at our food festivals. I mean, just Jeff's alone with Rare, the wedding that he did last year was unbelievable. Top Taco and Chicken Fight. And then Patrick does Ramen-O-Rama. He does Mac and Cheese Fest, Grilled Cheese Fest, Brunch Fest. I mean, there's at least one every weekend. I went to Lamb Jam last year.
I got one I want to start. I'm going to tell it here. I'm sure it'll get stolen from me, but that will be cool because if I see this happening, I'll go, hey, that was my idea. You guys ready for it?
Sure.
In October, let's do a Walktoberfest.
Oh, you told me about that before. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
I'd love to. More detail. I'd love to do a walk-off, man. You want to do that event with us, Larry? Let's do Walktoberfest.
Can you give me a little idea of what that means?
Yeah, it's got a bunch of great people that get together and they get their best wok recipes, and we cook in woks and kind of like Tuan La's deal over there with the Ramen Fest, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of that spin to it, but with woks.
Yeah, like your best wok recipes.
You don't like to eat out of a wok?
When you said Wok Fest, I thought you were saying WALK.
Oh, okay.
That's I'm so confused. I'm like, that doesn't really sound that great.
Yeah, WOK Fest or Walktoberfest. You don't like the idea, so never mind.
No, it's good. No, I'm picturing not. But there's not going to be any festivals this year, so.
You don't think? Okay, no. I'm holding you to that. No. I think it'll open up a little bit in the fall. That means there's not going to be a football season, and if you say that, boy, you'll have people that really look sideways at you.
There's not going to be fans in the stadiums.
Okay, we'll see what happens with that. What did Bardot do today?
Yeah. I'm always saying that name wrong. Hold on, let me say it right. Jarboni and Sons.
Yeah, Jarboni and Sons. Jarboni and Sons.
Yeah, they opened up a sandwich place inside of Bardot, and they sold out in like minutes. The sandwiches all look unbelievable.
Did they sell out? Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Congratulations to them. But a pop-up inside of a restaurant doing a pop-up. Cool, right?
Yeah, there's not enough good sandwich places. Everything is kind of the same. The chains are everywhere, and they're all just mediocre. Even like, I won't eat it at like a Subway. Jimmy John's is okay, but where there's just real flavor and love in the sandwich, we just do not have that. I think he's got something here. I think we'll be seeing that more than a pop-up. I could see that ending up as a brick and mortar.
Well, why not do some test concepts right now, Larry?
Absolutely. Love that idea. Love love the whole thing of the way Avanti is and those type of places, so people can, like my guest yesterday was Meta Asian, and just to instead of making that big commitment to opening up a restaurant is anywhere from $250,000 to $1 million, and you don't know whether people are really going to like it or not. So iron out the kinks in a food hall and a pop up. That's a really smart way to go.
I think so, and they're just such smart people over there anyway. With the what is it? Culinary Connection, Juan Padro's group.
Oh, Culinary Creative,
something like that. I don't get any names right, do I, Larry? Guess what you have to do with us today, since Dr. Metz isn't here with us.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm sitting a little more comfortable today. I'm on the couch here.
Get up and dance, Larry.
Oh, yeah?
Come on, Larry. Get up and dance. We got to thank everybody today. Today's the day, man. We were talking about it. Justin Brunson, River Bear American Meats. Is he dancing?
I can't see. He's standing up.
Is he giving?
He's moving his camera, which is ingenious, because it looks like he's moving.
Oh, really? Okay,
there we go.
That's all right. River Bear American Meats. Thank you so much, Justin. Brian Freeman, What Chefs Wants, and Growers Organic. Brian Cox, recovering from COVID. Wow, what a story that was. Black Bear Orchards and Rebecca Berry. Hot Schedule is powered by Fourth. It was great to see. Did you see him over there, Larry? Bistro, Colorado.
He's getting down
Travis?
now, man.
Now he's getting down.
He got the finger guns and everything out, man.
Oh, look at that. Larry Herz, OCN Eats, OCN Drinks. It's called What's for Lunch? What's for Lunch? Lunch with Larry. Oh, God bless you, Larry. Dr. Sara Metz, thank you. Dr. Sara Metz, Code 4 Counseling. And just think the world of all of you guys. Remember, we have a $50 of groceries, Larry. Did you go sign up for this, Larry? All you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and comment on this live video, and you could win this $50 gift card. We'll pick it randomly in 24 hours.
Believers?
Yeah.
I don't think I can get that. They're actually a client of ours.
Uh-oh.
I think there's a little conflict of interest.
Hey, man, we'll sneak it to you.
All right, cool.
See you tomorrow, Larry.
Okay.
All right, you guys, thank you again. Lots of cool stuff going on. COVID, Friday, May 8th. And Brother Luck's going to co-host that. You're going to get more information in the coming days. This Thursday, Jay, live from Molly's, the Modern Eater Show from 2 to 4 p.m. And then what happens at 5:30, Jay?
The Liquid Lounge.
The Liquid Lounge.
Liquid Lounge. It's beer this week.
Mm-hmm.
New Image. And Brandon Cap.
And who else?
Caps.
Is it Crooked Stave?
That was up in the air. The next one was up in the air. Yeah,
we'll promote that. But Molly's Liquid Lounge Thursdays from 5:30 to 6:30 from Molly's. And what else do I have here? I've got a couple more things. Nope, that'll do it. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 2 p.m. The Modern Eater Show continues.